so sick of you dumping in the D. And I'll tell you what, I'm coming to your door.
My next guest and his wife Lisa say their neighborhood, Brightmoor, Detroit, has turned into a war zone in the past 20 years. Their plan is to take back their community by shaming lawbreakers with viral videos like you've never seen before. Take a look at this.
So sick of you dumping in the D. And I'll tell you what, I'm coming to your door.
A local Detroit man is cleaning up his neighborhood, one video at a time.
Pick it all up. Every bit of that you pick right up. I want you to understand, I don't want you guys dumping in the D no more.
Armed with his cell phone,
You do understand we're watching, right?
Jonathan hunts down illegal dumpers and shuts them down by videotaping their crimes.
We had this guy that was over in the neighborhood thinking that he was going to dump in my neighborhood. Poor choice, because guess what we've got out here? Look at that. We've got the Detroit police out here.
He's also teamed up with local contractors to help him take trash back to its rightful owners.
Get your butt out here and make a difference. Don't talk about making the difference. Do it. It starts with you.
Wow, that's powerful. It starts with you. Please welcome Jonathan and Lisa to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Glad to have you here. Jonathan, tell me, who gave you the name Camera Crusader?
It was local journalists and news reporters that love what I'm doing, and they wanted to share it with everybody else. They're the one who's coined it.
What are some of the other names that people have given you?
Oh,
that you can say on daytime television?
Right. Video vigilante,
They call him a
intimidating.
hero. Yeah,
They call him what?
a hero.
A hero, of course. Wow, wow. There was a phrase I heard I want you to define for me. Return to sender?
Return to sender. Now that's when we go ahead and we find new dump sites that are in our neighborhoods. We find out where it comes from. We take it back to their front door.
Uh-oh. I bet they love that, huh? Now, Lisa, explain to me what your role is in this whole return to sender.
I am the behind-the-scenes investigator. If there's an address, I will find out who owns the home. If there's a name, thanks to social media, everybody blindly puts their lives out there for the world to find out. So it makes my job, pretty easy.
Yeah.
And she's my total support system,
Right.
too.
You know, why is Detroit so important to you?
It's my childhood home. It's where I come from, and there's no better place than, to have good, fond memories of your hometown.
At a time when most people are sitting back saying somebody ought to do something, you decided to do something on your own. Tell me how this whole idea germinated for you guys.
We got frustrated. We wanted to, we've got thousands of volunteers that come into our neighborhood on a yearly basis, and they dump 3 days later. Our neighborhood looks like nothing has happened there.
Wow.
Right.
And so I got frustrated. I want to make that change, and the only way we can do it, we can't call the police. They're not gonna respond in my neighborhood. Unfortunately, that's just the reality we live in. So I decided I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take up this cause.
You know, what I really got out of it that I thought was really powerful is to take matters into your own hands. Sometimes we sit back and we get frustrated and we just sit there and fumigate.
Right.
These people got up and did something about their situation, their circumstance. We can all take a lesson from that, don't you agree? I want to add someone to this conversation today. She is very aware of Jonathan's mission. Please welcome Chief of Staff for the Mayor's Office for the City of Detroit, Alexa Wiley. She joins us via Skype.
Hi, Alexis.
Hi, Alexis. What exactly do you do as the Chief of Staff for the City of Detroit?
Well, I'm essentially the mayor's right hand. My job is to make sure that things that he tells the public that we're doing, that we as an administration actually do. So I know Jonathan, I know Motor City Blockbusters, I know the work that they're doing in our community, and we really do support them.
What would you like to say to them and to other citizens in your city that are dealing with similar situations?
You know, what I would say is that for years, people like Jonathan really have been alone. They had to be out here fighting for neighborhoods when nobody else was there. But when you look at that video that you showed, there were police there that responded. Mm-hmm. You've got now where we have made this a priority. What he's fighting for is what we as an administration are fighting for. We are 100% focused on making sure that our neighborhoods are really part of Detroit's comeback, that all of us get stronger. As Detroit gets better, our neighborhood gets better. And we've got to make sure that people like Jonathan are supported, they're encouraged, and Jonathan knows he's got an open door into our office to make it clear when things are going on. When he raised this issue, the mayor was right on it, and we've put up cameras, we've got police looking. We take dumping seriously because, again, this is our home, and we need to treat it as such.
You know, it's a wonderful thing.
Can I add to that real quick?
Sure.
The city of Detroit wants to work with every citizen that's willing to speak up. That's the thing that needs to be done across the city and across the nation. We all need to come together and speak up and speak out.
You said exactly what I was thinking, because what is really beautiful about this is that the city is working with the good citizens in their community to drive out the bad elements. I think it can become a model all around the country. If we can work together, we can turn it around.
Absolutely.
Alexis, I do want to ask you, what's the mayor's plan to clean up Brightmoor, Detroit?
Well, we're already implementing that plan. When you look at what we've done with demolition, we actually, through fundraising with the Fisher Foundation, spent $500,000 demolishing blight in the neighborhood. We're looking at dumping. We've reduced our police and EMS response time so that people in Detroit can actually expect the same services that you get in other communities.
Thank you for that. I'm almost out of time, but I wanted to ask you this. How can we help?
Well, I think really the best way to help is to make sure that you're protecting your community, that you're speaking out. And also, you know, and specifically about Detroit, if you want to learn more about our city, come visit. Don't just read and look at the national media and what they typically say about our city. Come experience it for yourself. Meet people like Jonathan. Go check out our neighborhoods. I'm originally from Los Angeles, and I call Detroit home because I choose to call it home. Because people in our community are fighters, and it is a city unlike any city you find anywhere else in the country. And I welcome anybody to come and just really check us out.
I love it.
That's the true Detroit spirit right there.
I love it. Rich city, beautiful city, full of history. Great music has come out of Detroit.
Absolutely.
Great people have come out of Detroit. Keep it up, you're doing a great thing. We've been talking to camera crusader Jonathan, who is on a mission to clean up his hometown of Brightmoor, Detroit. And boy, is he really on the mission. Yeah, give it up for him. Isn't he awesome?
Thank you.
Explain to me how you feel when you see what is going on in your neighborhood.
Oh, it's just never ending, and it's overwhelming. It's almost like a Stockholm syndrome that we have in our neighborhoods, because people, they're just so used to the blight, they're so used to hookers and drug activity that people just, they're willing to settle for that. And for me, it's not something I'm willing to settle for anymore.
Well, you know, you were away from it for about 8 years or so. What made you come back?
The love of the city, and you know, I'm not giving up. And you know, when people are having issues with their neighborhoods or their country, their first response is, I'm moving somewhere else.
Right.
That's not an option for me. Right. I'm a fighter.
You're a fighter. You're going to get it back. Jonathan, you have to have a lot of courage to do that, because there's all kinds of people out there in the street. Do you ever get afraid for your life while you're shooting these videos?
A couple instances where it gets a little bit hairy, but I'm afraid of nothing most of the time. You know, I grew up in.
We kind of gathered that.
I have civility when I approach most folks, and I think that's what really. And I'm not there to escalate the situation. I'm there to just to change the behavior alone.
How much success have you had in posting viral videos?
I'm on TD Jakes' show. All the way from Detroit, Michigan.
All the way from Detroit, Michigan. One woman from Jonathan's community says he literally saved her life. She was addicted to heroin when she came face to face with his video camera a year ago. Ooh, take a look at this.
Tell me this girl is hustling her booty. You're gonna have to find another place to do whatever you're doing, young lady. This place is not for hustling booty out of, doing your drugs in. Look, I highly doubt that that's what's going on. That you're not.
I was honestly sitting in there
Right.
because I have nowhere to go. I mean,
I've seen. Wait, hold on a second. Well, I'll tell you what I've seen so far. I've seen droves of men coming in here with
Who?
you and with that other lady.
I've never had a date here.
I seen you here yesterday with the lady that brought her kid in the house, and I'll tell you what, I'm calling CPS the next time I see a kid in this home. You know, listen to me.
Stay here because it's the cleanest place I've found.
Then that's not the clean place. You know
It's
it's
the
not.
cleanest place I've
Right.
found. It's clean in this area, and that's where the couches are at.
Right.
I'm embarrassed of this. Are you filming me right now?
I film everybody.
That's
Right.
illegal.
Wow, isn't that amazing? Please welcome Lauren, who's joining us on Skype. Welcome, Lauren. Lauren, tell me about your first encounter with Jonathan.
Okay, well, as you saw, I was squatting in that house. I had just, pretty sure I just done some heroin. And I peeked out the door because I heard somebody on the grass and it was him. And I'm like, my first instinct, I'm like, oh, I'll just shut the door because nobody ever really bothered me. And, you know, he told me to come out of the house. And when I did, I didn't realize he was filming me until I asked him if he was filming me. So it was probably a good 5 to 10 minutes. And I was just kind of in shock and I was pretty mad.
How did that affect your decision to begin to turn your life around?
It helped me take a hard look at where I was at because that's not how I was raised. That's not, you know, I was in my addiction. So it really helped me take a hard look at where I was at that point in time. And I actually went to rehab.
Would you say that Jonathan and this campaign that he's been on was instrumental in saving your life?
I believe it played a big part in it, yes.
When you hear her say that you were instrumental in changing her life, helping her to confront her own issues, how does that make you feel?
I'm just some regular dude. I don't feel any different about what I do.
We believe it was all her.
I believe it's her. It was her actions that saved her life. My videos just happens to be a constant reminder of what she doesn't want to go back to.
Wow, wow.
We love you, Lauren. I'm glad you're doing well, honey.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the role you played in it.
What are you gonna do, brother, when Fochnuts comes for you? Fochnuts! No dumping in Brightmoor.